Man, what's going on? What's going on, everybody? We're gonna get started where we left off at. Just looking at something on this PDF. Let me go to the page we left off on. Turn this off. All right. Let's see. All right. Look like our background's off. Anyway, we left off with the 3Z rod mount, and let me pull this up here. Get this out of the way. Turn this around too. See that? So over here, if I need to grab them, I can come over here. All right, so the actual Z-Rod holder. Which is this part right there. Which is this right here. And eventually, once we work on the bed, we're gonna have to take this off, but it fits and the rod is on there pretty decent. Okay. So this is in the way. Put this in the way. It's getting pretty bad. Let me sit this down so you guys can see where I'm at. Okay. So now what we're gonna do is put the stepper motors in. I have some 4240s that we're gonna be putting on. So we have to put the gear on top of the stepper motors. I think it's both of them. It just shows one right there. Steppers, 2 steppers. I don't know if I printed that. I need that anyway. All right, so the 2 stepper motors right here, we're gonna put them in. We need 8 M3 by 25 screws that will go in through the top of the mounts. So let's get started on that. Let's see if I can switch this camera around so you guys can see it. Might have to do it from the top view. So these are the stepper motor brackets. Need 2 of them. You have them right here. This is the other one. This is one of our stepper motors. This is a 4240. And you have another 4240 right here. See if I can get focused on that. Focus on my hand. Just gotta go back to the menu. it's not focusing. Anyway, this is the motor. So let's work from the top. Got our gears here. Make sure I have the right bit. Tighten these up. Put it on upside down. Try the right bit to tighten this up. Is this it? Yeah, I believe so. That's it. All right, we're going to get our caliper and measure up 12.5 mil. Zeroed out right now. Put it to 12.5. Just missed it. Okay, I'm locking it right here. Perfect, right? Actually perfect. Set 12.5. Okay. So basically from the middle of the gear, we're gonna put it at 12.5. That looks pretty cool right there. Tighten it in. Okay, the other side. So 12.5 mil. All right, let's get the other one. Hope that rod sticking out doesn't bother it. That's it right there. It's moving all around on me. Get it slightly tight so it has some pressure on it. There we go. It's not enough pressure. It's moving again. That's too much. Come down some. Keep moving this thing. Right there. There we go. Thank you, thank you. All right, so that's pretty good. 12.5 mil to the middle. Check out the other one. 12.5 to the middle. Okay. So we're gonna put it in this casing. What this casing is for, it's a fan that goes at the bottom that will keep the stepper motors cool when we up the run current on them. So it fits in like so. Get some what is it? M3 by 25 mil. It's M3 by 30. M3 by 30. Let's see, we got one in here. We got M3 by 20. Let's see, 35, 30. M3 by 25. Should be some in here. Nope. Don't leave me hanging on the M3 by 25s. Sorry, people, I'm looking for some M3 by 25s. I think I might have them. Yeah, I have them in the round head. I don't see no harm in using those. This might be them. Yeah, I don't see any harm in using these. Hopefully it's no harm in using these. Just make sure we're there. These are M3 by 25s. These might be slightly bigger than that. 25 is basically an inch. These might be it. See now. Get our calibers out. Let's measure these. Put this to a 25. All right. These are the 25 mil. Okay. So need 4 of these. Let's get this in here, to the side, and this is getting mounted from the rear. Pause. See that coming up from the bottom. Fit. Fits that way, but fits if I go straight in there. Cooling system. This cooling system, it is supposed to fit. I don't know why it's not. Okay. All right, let's see why that's not fitting. You guys aren't going to really be able to see this, but it's up top right here. I think on this side right here. Alright, so it says left, right sides are symmetrical. Test fit stepper motors into cooling body. Connect the trim. Break off what you don't need. Really don't want to not put these on because I do want the extra cooling. Not fitting. Yeah, let me switch so you guys can see where I'm at with this. All right, so if I put it in right here, it actually fits perfect the way it's supposed to go. But with the cooling mount, it doesn't. It's off. So I really don't know what to do about that. Put it up there by itself, it doesn't line up. So I'm wondering, was I supposed to print a different model? Let's see. Oh, it's just the wrong side, I'm sorry. So this one was, if you can see that in the camera, this one was made specifically for this side. It has the air gap over there. Perfect, perfect, okay. So that works. Make sure I had the right screw, the bit on there. Maybe, yeah. Come from the top. See if my automated one could save me some time. Small. Way too big. Let's see. Have it in there. Sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to match up these drill bits in order to see if I can use this one to speed up this process a little bit more. I don't know what I did with these bits. Take this off. Try putting this one on place of it. And let's see. Perfect. And that doesn't go all the way through. It's not long enough. What size do I need? Okay. That could be a problem too. It's not lined up. Come on up, buddy. So you're off by how much? A lot, it looks like. Just that. Let's see if this other side is on. Plastic looks like it's adjusted. So that's the $25, $8.25, and $35, $25. That doesn't come all the way through. Probably need something longer. But it is not long enough. This one is short one, so it's a longer one. I use a 30 on this. Use an M30 and try and get all the way through. All right, beautiful, you're through. I went all the way through, okay. I have something in there? Yeah, I do. Let's get this out of here. That's in there. This piece. All right. So we'll put this one on. Try to see what we can do about the other side. It is off a bit. Go in. It's not gonna reach down in there. you're going in crooked or this is too long. Like that. That's too short to reach, but do I have anything in between? M3? Those are too long, but those are too short. So M5s, 3x20s. Yeah, these M3x30s they're way too long. It's not sitting properly in here. So you come out. You come out as well. And you come out. If that's the case, why aren't you going there? I'm having issues with these screws. The 30 mil long M3s are too short. Too long, and the 25s are too short. So I'm gonna try and see if this 25 goes all the way down. Alright, that one reaches. Let me see if it reaches enough to attach. Just short of attaching. Attached. Gotta apply some pressure. Not fit? No, it doesn't. Is this the same size? Yeah. I think I got one that fits it. Going to the Bamboo Lab kit. I think they have a thin one. Might be too thin. Now it fits it perfectly, actually. Come on, buddy. didn't attach. Alright. So you're down there deep enough. I see you. So you. Let's get you guys attached, man. One is on. Well, it's not. No. Thinking about maybe just cutting some bolts right now, because this is not fun. All right, so you're in there. You're not still. Yeah. I'm gonna go grab the Dremel tool and cut some bolts. This isn't worth the effort I'm putting into it. No magnet today. No magnet today. But I don't know if it was you that had the idea about turning it upside down. That's all I should have did. Struggling for nothing. Get this hole over here. Oh, I think I got a crack in my frame. I do. Let's find out where these holes are. Might be shrinkage. So that one goes through. That's good. That's good. this one to go through. I think it's a screw in there. That is way off. How much is it off? A lot. Let's see if we can get this thing to drill through it. Alright, so we got that to drill through it. See if we can get this one to drill through it. If there's anything in there. There's something in there. Alright, so that made it through. It's just this one there. I'm pretty sure that's because that cracked and separated. So that's in there. I just got that peeks through some, that doesn't come through. Yeah, so my screws are too short. The 25s just don't get all the way through for some reason. They would attach if I didn't have these covers on. If I didn't have these covers on, they would attach. But in an M/8 and a 30 is too long. So anywhere between a 30 and a 25 would be perfect. But they don't make those, so what's gonna have to happen is I might have to custom cut these screws just to fit it in place. I think that's a bit better anyway. So what I am going to do is just skip this part. I've been working on it and I'm gonna have to end up cutting these screws, so I'm gonna just basically skip this part and go to the bed. So when I come back off camera, I'll put these on, but the whole thing to it is just basically putting these covers on. I'll put up to putting the stepper motors on and the covers on, and then I'll finish the rest of this process on camera. But as you can see, all I was doing was putting the steppers on the X and Y stepper in their locations, but I have to cut the M3 by 30s to maybe M3 by, let's say 27.5. Give it a middle ground. Okay, so Mr. Omar Aoki. I just call you Mr. Omar. So in order to install the SKR Mini on the Cobra Max, you got to remember you're about to configure the whole printer. I was going to use the cable that came, the breakout board, well, not the breakout board, the PCB hot end board on the KR Max, and you can do that, but I found it easier just to run all my wires back to the motherboard. So that's going to have to be something that you take into consideration, unless you want to go into detail and find out the specific wires for that PCB on the hot end of the Cobra Max. But once you do that, if you're changing the motherboard, so you're willing to change the whole aesthetic of the printer, because it no longer technically becomes a Cobra Max. It's now basically like just like a big Ender. But anyway, when you hook the heat bed up to the SKR Mini, you don't hook it directly. The Cobra Max already comes with like a MOSFET for it that controls the temperature to the it controls the temperature to the the bed. So you connect, the way you see that it's connected now, basically the the bed attaches to the MOSFET, and the MOSFET attaches to the motherboard. So that's how it's going to actually work. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I just recently changed that, because mine's burnt out on my Cobra Max. I smelled the burning smell, and it was the MOSFET. It burnt out, but I ended up changing it. Basically like the same process that I'm telling you about, but you connect that directly to, trying to get this out of here, you guys. You connect that directly to the SKR Mini. So you're not gonna attach your heat bed directly to the SKR Mini. You're gonna go through the MOSFET. If that makes sense. Sorry guys, I'm gonna have to grab this hammer. And all I'm doing now is popping these screws out, so it won't be a problem to me later. But once you complete doing that, changing out the Cobra Max with the SKR Mini, you'll basically learn the workings of, how your computer is your printer is wired, and you'll be able to basically do builds like this, because you'll have an understanding of what's going on. But I originally did it because I wanted to put clipper on the Cobra Max, and there was a way that you can do it, but you had to jump. I'm sorry. You had to jump a something on your board. I tried it and I destroyed my board. So, you know, I just went with the easier route, just changing out the whole motherboard. Well, for me, was the easier route. Technically, just jumping your motherboard was easier, and you could basically set up clipper on the Cobra Max. Alright, I'm sorry, I just wanted to take the screws out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work on the bed. If you can see, let me take this down. If you can see now, it's in the bed. We'll attack this later. If this part right here, this is what you'll see me install when I come back later after I cut the M30s to 2.5. This will already be done. This part right here will already be done, but then we can attach the fans and everything so that we can continue off with that part. But right now, just so we can get some constructive work done, we're gonna hook up the bed. And my apologies on that long drawn out process right there. It's just something I got to custom do. I don't know if it was had to do with any shrinkage from me printing or some bolts maybe not being tightened well enough. But those screws just aren't long enough for me. So let's grab the stuff for the bed. This is all the stuff I have for the heat bed. I'm gonna put that right up here. And as you can see on here, there's a couple heat inserts. I've already installed those. If you're gonna attach the Wago board, you know, you gotta install certain heat inserts. I'm pretty sure some of these are for like if you're gonna put a sex bolt on there for like the Voron. If you wanted to find the Auto Z with a clicky. But right now we're gonna do this. We're gonna pop this on. We're gonna pop this arm on and slide it over the rods, folks. I'm gonna try and do it from this angle so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Move this stuff out of the way. All right, if it gets too difficult for me, I might have to turn around. I can give you a different camera view as well. So, let's see. This is going to be slide on the left screw, slide onto the lead screw, snap on the rod. Just make sure we don't have to bolt. No, we don't have to bolt those just yet. So it says, so we gotta see how this is. So that's the front. So if that's the front, this has the face towards the front, the flat. So this will be this side. Okay, so we're going, you can see we're gonna basically snap this on. Snap it on first. Hope that didn't crack anything. I heard something crunch. And slide that down. Right? So we're gonna slide this over the slider. Like that. Okay. You can see that? No, you can't see that. So what we did was, so now it's on the, so we actually, this part right here, we put the arm on, we slid that on top of that. So now the arm moves up and down like so. Okay, so right now I have to pull the bed arm cover. Hopefully I was smart and put everything in here. All right, I did put it in there. So now what we're going to do is pop this into place like that, and we need to install some lock nuts and M20s. M3 by 20. So M4 by 20, M3 by 12, M4, M3 by 12. I know I have some, I just seen them. M3 by 30s, M3 by 25. M3 by 20s. Okay. So we're gonna take these, two of these, two of these. Yes, I'm using ABS. ABS for the side fans, but everything else is ASA. Hey, what is that? Adamas? Nah, it's not performance anxiety. I just have a real bad issue with trying to do two things at once. Like, it just doesn't work for me, man. So what I'm gonna do is swing this around. And I'm gonna give you guys a different camera angle. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Point this camera down some. There we go. Got some stuff in the way, but it's cool. All right, so right here, oh, the screws that were too short. Yeah, I just yeah, I don't really feel like doing that, putting you guys through that. That's something that I can do on my own. So let's see if we can see. All right, so I'm gonna take, my camera isn't focusing, so I'm trying to get the focus on me. Maybe. So I'm gonna take these M3 nuts and install them right here. All right. There's slots made for them once you get them in. Okay. But you put ADD? Yeah, absolutely, man. I was diagnosed with ADD as an adult. But as far as, I get the joke now. I didn't even get the joke, man. I'm like, nah, it's because I I just don't want to put you guys through it, but that's a good one. That's a good one. They have performance anxiety. All right. So hopefully these ones don't have performance anxiety and they go all the way through. And it seems like they are. So I'm gonna try for you guys to see this, but if you could see, and I'll swing it around because it looks like it's focused on this anyway. All right. So in this side, there's some slots for the M3 nuts, and I'm hoping it caught, but this is in order to tighten it up. This right here there's a black gap filler in order for you not to crunch this too much, but right now we're slid against this. This was basically like an easy install. I think we definitely have to do them for all 3 rods. All right. So see, it doesn't even mention the other front rod because it's assuming that you have to do that for the other front rod. So since you guys are at this angle, hopefully you can see where I'm going with it. So on this side, just going to snap this on right here. Just going to snap this on right here. Hopefully don't break it. So I just snap that onto the rod. I'm going to slide it down. See this slider, the rod that guides it along the linear rod, the LM8 bearing or something like that. I'm going to slide that on top of there. All right, so now we're on there. Let's lock onto that. I wasn't supposed to do that just yet, but let me see if I can open it up to get that out, because it's a part that I missed. All right, so first off, see if I can get this camera to come up some more. All right, so first off, what we're going to do is come down the actual Z-axis rod. All right, then we're going to lock onto the LMU, whatever it is, bearing. Now we're going to grab our spacer. And it goes here, right? We're going to grab 2 of the M3 nuts, and there are slots. You see these 2 slots right here? 2 slots in here. Tripods Garage, what's going on? Yeah, I should have did. I heard a little cracking in there, but I don't think anything broke though. I think it was just releasing itself, but it would have been a good idea to warm them up. I got a bunch of heat guns around here. So let's get this to fall into place. There we go. So that's in there now. Let's grab another one. Let's raise this up. So I'm not too worried about this right now. So I'm gonna move this out the way. Raise this up some. Get good positioning. Push that in there. It's in there now. So now we're focused on this. This right here has, you can see it has a curved edge along here, and it's straight, like it's like a squared corner right here. The squared corner goes against the bearing. The smoothed edge works itself around the actual bed plate mount. So we put that in there. We're gonna get 2 M3x20s. Okay, so we got our two M3x20s, and it goes through here and it locks in through the other side. All right. It's going to tighten up that gap right there. Good. This one, do the same thing. Try not to put my arm in the way. Cool. All right, so that's on there now. What we're gonna do next is the middle arm. I mean the rear center arm. So what we're gonna have to do is lift this linear rod out of place. Before I do that, I gotta take this these set screws out the way. Hoping this is the size. It is not. I thought it was. It's gotta be. And it is. Alright, so this out. And that one's out. Pull this up. If we can. It's a lot of pressure. All right, so I have another idea for this. Let this hang off. And all we need to do is get it out of there, right? So how much space do we have? Got a punch. I'm gonna reverse this punch and try and knock this down. Install it from the top if I can. Excuse the hammering. It don't even seem like this is working. I'm gonna mute the microphone because I'm gonna hammer this down. I'm gonna hit it a little harder. The mic is still on, right? All right, I think I got the vocals back. Yeah, no, I didn't dig in a little. So I think I'm good now, just to get this part on. So I guess we're gonna do the same thing with this. We just this, it didn't say pop on. That's why I took that down. It actually has you slide it over. I would have popped it on as well. So slid it over top. Make sure I'm good, make sure my reference is correct. This is the way it's supposed to sit. I don't know if it's flat here or does this go in the middle. Might be flat. We'll see. But right now I'm gonna pop this rod back into place. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn the mic off again. All right, there we go. Got that together. Now, like I said, where's my, I just had it. There it is. I think that's good, but I don't want that bothering me. Sorry about the noise. Just want that flat. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely sturdy. It's definitely sturdy. All right, so my main thing now is everything flat. I'm pretty sure this has to remain where it's at, just so it sits flat on this, because that must level. You guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm more focused on how this bearing sits with this this back arm, because right now you see how like the bearing sticks down. These sit flat along here. I'm pretty sure these line up here, so that might have to stay like that. I hope. Okay. Let me see something, because this may have to be flattened out a little bit more. It's too big. See if I have any bits hanging around here. Small. And that was too big, right? Oh no, that's perfect actually. I got a bolt here that I need to get a little bit lower. There we go. Sticking up some. Kind of stopping it. So all right, cool. So with this one right here, we're going to do the same thing we did with this one. Let me see what size bolt. It's the M3x20, same as the other ones. Got the M3x20 right here. We need the nut for the M3 bolt. It increases the speed. It increases the speed dramatically. Actually, it and some of the features that I'm going to put on here myself, you basically are turning this into I guess a bigger size K1. I'm going to add the eddy current, bed leveling. That's going to be on here. So I'm going to have an auto Z. I'm not going to have the clicky probe. I'm actually going to, later on, I don't know if I'm going to do that on camera or, let me get this. I don't know if I'm going to do that on camera or I'm going to just make a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it, because I think the lives are better when you're doing a build. So I'm going to add a multi-material unit, because he designed one. Well, the RH3D team, they designed a multi-material unit. I'm going to put that on there. So this thing is going to be basically like a Ender a regular Ender 3 turned into like a new K1, but better, because whatever upgrades they have, because he's real enthusiastic on keeping this Ender modern. RH3D are real enthusiastic on doing that. So whatever updates they have within the Discord, within the Printables website, they post them. And right now the MM unit, the multi-material unit, is something that you can get and download if you join the RH3D Patreon page, if you do this build. Yes, it has it's gonna have closed loop steppers, as far as like the X and Y axis is what you talk, like belt driven up top right here. That's what you mean? No, I haven't seen the poly dye full color. Hey T, how you doing? What got me into 3D printing? Actually, if you see, this channel is basically called Jedovi 3D, but we have a company called Jedovi and a website, Jedovi Shop, and I do art. I've been a graphic artist for over the last 30 years, and I do a lot of Adobe Photoshop. We recreate art. If you looked at older videos here, I had like a picture of Columbus Square. It was a building when we were coming out the subway. I took the picture of it. I redesigned it to be a painting. Do crochet work. Like I said, we do personal custom, like we'll turn a photo into a painting or whatever you want with it. What else did we do? So it's a bunch of stuff, but the website is www.jedovishop.com. And at one point in time, an associate of mine, they asked me, since you guys do like crafts and hobbies and stuff like that, you ever got into 3D printing? Like, did you ever think about incorporating that inside your business? So basically, I'm talking to you guys. I'm not even looking at you guys. So basically, I told them no. I've seen it. If you live anywhere in the New York, New Jersey area, you've heard about B&H Photo. When I went there years ago, like I think maybe back in like 2010, 2011, I seen them with 3D printers there. That's when they were ultra expensive. So I never really even thought about getting into it. So they basically mentioned that to me, and I started looking around, and I saw that 3D printers wasn't as expensive as they used to be. So, I started getting into it in depth, and of course, YouTube school, and before I got we got our first 3D printer, which was a Ender 3, the original Ender 3. we started experimenting, and I kind of got, because 3D printing, if you're into 3D printing, you understand that there's a point to where it's like, I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm not gonna touch this thing anymore. And then there's a point where it's like, wow, like we created this, and even though it was a process, it was something difficult, an experience I never went through before. Like what I thought came to life, and I guess at that threshold, I went to the way of the enthusiast or hobbyist, and that's how long, that's what got me into it. Absolutely. Sometimes when I design certain things, I was telling, a bunch of people that I know, like, yo, so 3D printing, they ask all these questions. So one of the things I tell them all the time, and especially when we're at events or we're doing certain things, is it's almost like how, when you order something from Amazon that you really want, and then you're waiting for it to come in and it comes in the next day. That's kind of what it's like. So it's kind of like you have something on your mind, you design it, and you send it to the 3D printer, and next thing you know, how many hours it takes, how many days it takes, is there in front of you. And that's one of the most amazing things about 3D printing. From the mind to actual physically being there. And us as creators, I guess that's why I do it, it's so much potential for new creation. There's so much potential for just making dreams come true. If that doesn't sound too cheesy. Yeah. That's why when I'm live sometimes, let me go through the top. That's why when I'm live sometimes I'll get to a certain point and I'll be like, we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up tomorrow or next week or wherever we can do it. Okay, so this is the top. All right, so right now, the printer's in the way kind of, but right now if you can see at the top right there, we're gonna put the they're called the Flexies, for the stabilization of the Z-axis rods. We're gonna put those into place and bolt them with M3 bolts. And I guess that just keeps the tension, because I don't, in mine, I do. And I miss some heat inserts. There's supposed to be heat inserts in here. So we're gonna put these on. That's for the rear. For the front ones, there's screws that go down. If you can see that. It's to the left of the screen. These are M3 by 8s. They go down. And then to the right of the screen, you'll see we need T8 slash nut. I guess that's what that's called. M3 by 8. Yeah, the T8 nut. We have a few of them. These come with the kit. If you look on the right side of the screen, the gold color ring, that comes with the kit. So we have those, we can install those. I do need to install 2 heat inserts. I'm pretty sure they're M3s. Right here, look at the left side of the screen. They are for the rear arm. I do need to install those, but for right now, we're going to install the 2 front ones, which have the M3 by 8 screws. And that is on our left side of our screen right now. All right. So these are the 2 front ones. Slide into place just like that and fall in. Okay. This is the other side. Let me take this side that sits right in the groove. Okay. Fell right in place, so we're going to take two M3 nuts, M3 by 8, I'm sorry, bolts, and put them into position. I might be out of these. I might have used them all. Was it M3 by 6? That's M3 by 8. They're going. My M3 by. Okay. Got a few right here. I use the K1 and the Bambu Lab X1C. And they both did a phenomenal job. At one point in time, I thought I could tell which one printed what, but it was actually like almost dead even. But if I had to pick one that printed better, of course the Bambu Lab did. But I had to adjust the fan speeds on both of them. Their original setups don't print well. It warps a lot. Let me see if I can use my cheat thing, man. See if it works for me. Nah, this thing is weak. Instead of even using this, I'd rather use Baby Blue. Thank you, thank you. They've been actually, during this build, they're actually been surprising me, man. Like, everything's fitting perfectly. And ASA and ABS can be a pain to print. Yeah, it's my screwdriver kit's over here. It definitely comes with that one. We probably got the same one. You got it from Amazon. I always pick the one with that's at least 4.5 stars with the most reviews. And if you're anything like me, then we got the same kit. Full color Adamus. So you saying I was looking at your comment, have you seen the poly dye full color 3D print kit? No, I gotta kind of note that so I can do some studying on it. Yeah, and the reason they're overhyped, it's kind of like Bambu Lab is very beginner friendly, but you have to pay for that. Granted, every 3D printer, let me turn this on. Granted, every 3D printer is gonna have an issue to where you gotta do some type of maintenance. I tell people that all the time. There's a lot of people quit printing 3D printing because they think their 3D printer is broke. But it's actually, they may have to do some maintenance, they may have to have ship from the factory with some slight defects, but the good thing about 3D printers is that they're all fixable. Bambu Lab makes that a bit more difficult. I'm sorry, I'm doing some heat inserts. Bambu Labs makes that a bit more difficult for you to do the maintenance on their printer, but you know, you can change parts, you can change your hot end, you can do certain things, and if you're that mechanically inclined, you can actually fix that printer yourself. But from the beginning, they make it so easy to print. Like my wife does not she is not mechanically inclined, you know, but she, and our business is our business. So when we do 3D printed products, she can actually work the Bamboo Lab printer. But the Crealities know, the Anycubics know, the Sovals know. But Bamboo Lab, she can do very comfortably. So that's what I guess the hype is for them. Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. No 3D printer is garbage. When we're at certain events, you know, we'll get people that say, yeah, I have a 3D printer, but it can't do anything like this. And then I'll ask them, what 3D printer do you have? And the majority of the time, they say they have an Ender 3. And I'll show them a print like, well, I printed that on the Ender 3. And then the next thing, you know, they're asking is how? Like, so I tell them, like, the 3D printing is not if or is it, it's when you need to make adjustments, when you need to do some tinkering, when you need to use your mechanical mind. Is that going to happen? It's when is it going to happen. It's not if it's going to happen. So I tell them now all the time, if you're interested in 3D printing, any 3D printer can print something in PLA like a Dragon or something like that. Any 3D printer can do that. But you just have to be willing to go the extra mile as far as like maybe engineering work or something like that when your printer goes down. Or if you want it to print faster, you gotta know what to do. Maybe you have to change it from rollers and wheels to linear rails, or maybe you're tired of the paper test. You want to do automatic bed level and you have to put a CR touch or a ABL touch or something like that. So yeah, I tell them that all the time. So it was originally for the DIY. Yeah. Yes. You know, focusing more towards the average everyday consumer. Let me wait till these cool down some before I put this in here. It was actually some there were actually some heat inserts that I missed. These have the M3/8s that go on the side of the rear arm in the back. But yeah, I love my Bamboo Lab printer. I love them all. Like if you guys always see my videos when they start, I got an A1 back here. It is the A1 after they had their fire scare, but my wife can work that easy too. I like it. A lot of times we take the A1 Mini to setups and shows that we have. I traded it out for the Creality. I brought an Ender 3 there just to show people, you know, you can print too. You can do this too, and it's not as hard as you think it is. All right. So while we're waiting for that to cool down, we'll take these MT8 nuts and put them into place in the two front arms. So like I said, these came with the kit. This one came with springs. I'm wondering if there's no, there wouldn't be any springs in this because see how they had this installed. This goes through the bottom. lock from both sides. Four, and that screws directly in. All right, let me go from the top. So, let's see. This is on the bottom. And I'm kind of wondering, should I put this on? Because in our diagram up here, it's not here. This part right here. Let me slide this back. Okay. So this looks like, you know, it kind of locks into place like that. This goes at the bottom, that goes at the top. But in the actual diagram, I don't see the top piece. I mean the bottom piece. So I'm gonna let that come down. And hopefully it just fits into place. There we go. So I got a feeling we gotta line this up with the holes. Back this out because, are those the holes? The holes are in the corner, okay. So those are M3s, M3 by 8, and they're going to self-tap if I'm not mistaken. So these M3 by 8s will go in here and you just self-tap. Trying not to. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back this out and put the screws. It's not gonna work either. I think this may be the time for that trash drill bit. I mean drill tool. Cool. Where's the other one? Yeah, I don't think I need that bottom piece. Yeah, I saw a lady, she yeah, the anti-back last night. Yeah, it's yeah, it's one for the other side, right? But and it's usually a spring that goes around these in order to keep the tension on them. But I think the flexi, this was built because usually this goes like this with the other piece on top in order to you know, maintain the rod, like the movement in the rods, and so that you know, you have some flexibility in it. But I think that's what these are for, the flexi. So you, rather than you don't need the back piece, because the back piece is actually this flexi part. And then screwing directly into it, self-tapping into it. There you go. Yeah, so it can move. These right here, the flexis are, you know, when it gets hot, like in order for it still to go up and down, but that's what the springs are for, if I'm not mistaken, right? On like the original, let me see if I have them here. I thought I kept the parts, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. So you're saying basically the flexi, so I need the back end of the T8 nut on there. True. True, it might rip these screws right out, right? Shouldn't have done that. I see an issue right here too as well. Gotta tighten these screws up over here. I'm trying to think, I'm looking at it now to see if I should put them on. I think I really should put them on. Cause the bed, you know, it's a regular Ender bed. But from the directions I'm seeing there, this is just tied totally into all right, let's see. I don't know. We'll see. I'll put them on later, man. Yeah, Z-Wapple. Yep. If I need to, I'll put them on later. Right now, I'm just gonna keep them the way they are. It seems like it's pretty stiff, but I don't want to actually start messing around with this again. Because right now it's flat, and I just pulled that up, and I shouldn't have touched that until I got all these pieces on. here. Cool. So 3x8. Yeah, they're actually, if you can see, I'm trying to pull this in the middle. This is the stepper motor for the Z-axis. This is the belt going around, and they're all on. It's not the independent stepper motor model. What's up, layer by layer? Tapping in. Getting there. Seems like I got you. Come all the way back up. There you go. This one's being a bit of a pain. Let me take this out, make sure I'm lying right up over it. There we go, nowhere near it. There are two pre-drilled holes that's I'm trying to line up over. And instead of, you know, grabbing it, it was pushing it down. It should be right over it. Nope, pushed it down again. You have to spin it. There we go. Trying to line it up over the hole. And if you don't, since it has treads in it, if you miss the hole, you start to push the flexi clip down. Now we're in there. All right, cool. Cool, appreciate it, appreciate it. Provide some help. My man T's in here, he was just helping me with these T8 nuts, giving me some education on them. All right. This one is stiff, this one feels like it's a little loose. And I know why. All right, I gotta take this off. As I said, I shouldn't have moved that up and down until I had all of the arms on. So now with that being the case, the bed has, it could potentially be uneven. Got you in there. Absolutely, absolutely. I can tell. Yeah, for me it was so I'm a late bloomer compared to you guys. For me, it was like 2020. 2021 or something, like towards the end of 2020. Okay. All right. So this should be cooled down by now. We'll pop that on. Wrong side. There we go. All right, M3x8. Just like cool. Megbot. Are there any Prusa's that cheap now? Prusa seems to be the most expensive one. I promise you. within the next 2 years, I'll get that the Prusa XL, and I want it with the 4 print heads on it. Wow. See you guys throwing them names out there. They had the Prusas before the Prusas were the bands, were the people that everybody followed. Mistake me if I'm wrong, but Prusa were the ones that kind of sort of created open source. Can't use this one with that. This is always my problem with doing a little tinkering and 3D printing like this. It's these small areas. I think my hand gets a bit of its own anxiety. There we go. Come on, big guy. Open this stuff. All right, got a little wobble. This feels incredibly loose. That feels stiff. This is stiff. Even this one. All right, that's tight. Feel like it's a lot of play in that. I don't know if that's, this is pretty tight on here. Make sure these have the same distance. And I don't want to over tighten these because it's going directly into the filament. But I do feel like I got a lot of movement. And I know what it is. I'm sorry. It's the actual flex itself. It's more space here, so it is more movement. These are a bit tighter, so that's where the stiffness is coming from. All right. So we got the bed position. We got everything in there. Let's see. Let's take a look. Printer's in the way. I'm sorry, guys. All right. So now, let me put this on the ground. All right. So now we're going in at the bottom, and we're going to put the carriage on. So it attaches at these locations. We did do some pre-drilled holes in the actual carriage. That's what this part is for. Guessing you go through the bottom. We're going to go through the bottom of the actual printed arms and tighten into the carriage, and that's where the threads are for. Okay. So we'll do that now. Let's see if we can get a good angle at it. Get you guys coming from the other camera. Oh, I forgot a lot going on the table, people. All right, so let me grab the carriage. Where is it in here? It's in there. So we got the carriage right here. We want to grab some M4x10s, and that's what we're going to use to go on the bottom. We need about 9 of those. Make sure I have the, where's the front? Okay. So this is the orientation, and this is how it's going to sit. We got everything lined up decent. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Here goes nothing, people. All right, so M4x10s. I have an M4x8, M4x12, no M4x10. Right there. It's not over. That's all M3s. And we have M4x8. Oh, M4x10s, huh? M4 by 8. M4x10s. All right. I think that's the end of my collection, to tell you the truth. M5s, M4x8, M4x12. All of my packs skip a M4x10. I'm wondering if I could use an M4x12. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. 4x12. First thing I'm gonna try is an M4x8 though. I doubt if you can do it, but we'll see. Then I'll try an M4x12, but if that's too long, we are going to have to bring it to a halt. Just until I get the proper ones. So, M4x8 definitely not gonna make it. M4x12 looks pretty good actually. Do I need any washers or anything? Nope, just go straight into it. So everything is going to be put on loose. Let me try and go from this angle. Okay. And I'm guessing all of the looseness that I was oh no. This M4x12 might be too long. Let's try the 8. I didn't know it went in. 4 is a bit stronger. Nope. Come on, big guy. Perfect. Let's try M4x8. Hopefully it gets it. It's okay. Just going to bag it out some. It's not tapped. Yeah, it's tapped. It's just not reaching. So we might definitely need a M4x10 right there. Nope. See if this M4x12 fits. Just to make sure it can go through. Definitely can go through. M4x. Excuse the dog. There's Shiba Inus. Space is always the issue. I get yelled at. I get yelled at and told that I'm taking on too many projects. All right, you know what? I don't trust these M4 by 8s are just latching. So I think I am. I'm sorry, guys. We'll complete this on Monday. I won't be on this weekend, but we'll complete this Monday. I'm going to order the M4 by 10s because what's happening is these M4 by 8s are just latching on. Some of these, the printed areas are too deep for them and they're not even catching the threads. So I don't want to just catch on and maybe ruin the thread on the plate. So I am going to order the M4 by 10s. I only have M4 by 8s or M4 by 12s. It looks like they don't necessarily come regularly with the metric screw kits that I usually get. So let me flip it over. Thank you, T. I appreciate it. So I'll definitely be on Monday. Monday will be another long drawn out day to try and get as far as we can. You know, putting 3D printers together, even when they come in the box, is somewhat sort of like this. So just when we got the time, we can go straight at it. All we really got left is the bed, which shouldn't take too long. We got the actual hot end. The wires I already have ready to go for it. So we definitely going to still have to do some soldering and some connecting. But you know, that's going to be one of the longest parts. I have my motherboard ready to go. I also want to order a MOSFET for it. I've been reading how some of the heat, or in the Discord they were saying I think they were connecting directly to the Octopus motherboard, and it was burning out the terminal for the hot bed. So I want to connect a MOSFET for it in order to you know, help distribute that power and not kind of like burn out things on the motherboard. I know the potential is still there, but you know, I feel a little better with that installed. So I got to order one of those as well. Once we get to that wiring part, I know that's going to be another long part, but I'm trying not to do anything off camera. Anything that I do on camera is officially to build, except for maybe like the heat inserts. And you guys seen what I was doing with this. I'm just going to cut those bolts and attach that. But I am going to finish on camera adding the fan to the bottom, because it actually, the theory to that is you can raise the run current inside of your printer config file in order to push those stepper motors to go faster if you have a fan blowing directly on them, cooling them off. So that's the theory to it. You know, people definitely been printing on these things, so I wouldn't doubt it. You know, then some high speed printing. I know I saw a Benchy print on there at I think, maybe I'm lying, but I think it's almost 2 minutes. So they got some speed on these things, man. And you know, I've been interested in this project for almost a year. They had a beta version, and this is the 1.2 version. So I am going to build the 1.2 version without the sidings, without the enclosure. I'm gonna do that off screen, and I am going to build the multi-material unit off screen as well. But the actual printer itself, yeah, everything's on camera live, and I appreciate it. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for chatting with me. T, layer by layer, Adamas. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys taking the time to spend with me and looking at the project. And I will see you on Monday if you choose to watch. Happy print, people. See you in the next video.